Welcome to this new Ambrosia Talks. I am so stoked because we really have an awesome guest. With me today is Stephanie Blab, Steffi in short, and she works at Rodestock. And Rodestock is a high-tech company producing lenses. And what do I mean with lenses? The lenses, the glass that is in my eyewear. So this is also Rodestock, by the way. I just picked it up. We're going to talk about international marketing, bringing international campaigns to local markets and even to local opticians. Oh, and if you do that over so many countries, it is a challenge. But today with us is Steffi, and she is so experienced in this. So, Steffi, I'm so glad to have you and to interview you. But before we dive into the really deep dive into translations and distributions and everything, can you introduce yourself and explain a little bit what your role is within Rodestock?
Yeah, sure. Thank you so much for the invite, Melanie. I'm really looking forward to our talk.
It's always fun to talk.
Yeah, so maybe one or two more words about Rodestock as a company. So thanks for the introduction. So as you mentioned, yes, we are a leading global premium ophthalmic lens manufacturer. We are based in Munich in Germany. So one part of our products are our lenses. That's really our focus part, but we also offer software and also medical devices. So really for measuring the lenses.
Yeah, the DNI scanner, of
Yeah,
course.
exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. Yeah, so basically also the DNI scanner. So it's one of our hero products because with the DNI scanner, we develop our biometric lenses. Which are really our hero product and which really makes us unique. And yeah, we are distributing our products in more than 85 countries.
85.
Yeah, it's more than 85. It's crazy. So it's really, yeah, worldwide.
Yeah, exactly.
But yeah, Europe is really our core market, but yeah, we are worldwide represented. And yeah, in my role, I'm part of the digital team at Rodestock. So I'm from Rodestock headquarters. And my focus is the social media communication at Rodestock. So I do have a global role. So my part is defining the global social media strategy, but also supporting our markets and their local social media activities, and also offering support to our customers, the opticians, with their social media activities.
Yeah, wow. And you do a little bit in the German market and you support the local,
Yes.
so it's a double role
Exactly.
even.
It's a bit of a double role, but yeah, so my focus is really the global role, but yeah, I'm also supporting German market because it's our biggest market. So yeah, and of course, since I'm based in Germany, I know the language and everything. So yeah, it makes sense that I also support our biggest market with their own global social media activities.
Are you part of creating the content or thinking of the campaigns as well and then bringing it to the markets, from the whole process?
Yeah, so I'm involved in the creation of the campaigns. So if social media content is created with the campaigns, then we are, of course, always in close alignment with our marketing campaign team. But in developing the content, it's a little bit mixed. So we do have an agency which we are working with, a great agency, and they are creating the content, and together with them, we are creating the strategy and also developing the content.
Ah, okay, cool. Yeah, so you're part of it, and then it's really created by somebody else, and then it comes back to you, and you have to bring it to all these markets.
Exactly.
85 markets.
Yeah.
I mean,
So it's a mix of markets and distributors,
okay.
basically. Yeah.
Yeah. But and what is if you have 85 countries where you sell Rodestock? How many are your own markets and how many are your distributors? Give or take. It's not.
To be honest, I think it's about 20 to 25 markets. So
Okay.
don't, pin me down on it. But I think it's like 20 to 25 markets. Yeah.
Wow. Unbelievable. Yeah. And I can imagine it's a really a challenge to bring the marketing. You think of a marketing campaign and you have to bring it to 85 countries, 25 markets, a lot of distributors. It is a fascinating challenge.
Yeah,
What makes it
absolutely.
challenging? Can you explain a little bit? What is your...
Yeah. So, I mean, we do have several challenges. So one is, of course, the global aspect of it, because every market is so unique and has so different needs. So in Asia, the culture and the approach to marketing is so different than to Europe. And then there are so many markets which are already more digital advanced than others, especially also the customers. So some customers, some opticians, they really want to do digital marketing, and some are not that far yet. So it really is a challenge to provide, the support which really fits every market, and also develop strategies which fit every market. So that really is a challenge. And also, the marketing teams are different in their size. So some are bigger, some are not that big. One have only one marketing manager, some have several. So it's also, tricky to that every market can do the similar activities with a different manpower. So there are some challenges. And also our product, of course, it's also a bit of a challenge. So it's an awesome product because it really creates value in the everyday life. But at the same time, it's tricky because when people think of glasses, they often think of the frame, because that's like the fashion aspect of it. And we really need to promote the lenses, which really helps you to see clearly. So that's really what offers the real value. But most people don't even know the brand of the lenses. So that really is a little bit of a challenge to create awareness for the lens and not for the frame of it.
And then it's also a very technical product, I think. You need to explain, like, why is the DNA scanner so much better than just a normal eye scanner for your eyes, and because it's so advanced and so, it makes all these small measurements, if I would have to call it in layman terms, I think. And you have to explain that to people, and then you have possibilities of like coatings, and so you want to explain that to them, and it must be a challenge also to explain the technical product. And
absolutely.
In different languages, and it also has a different, like it's a technical lexicon even, I think, per country, that makes it harder. You cannot just automatically translate it and believe it's okay. So
absolutely. And we do have the different target groups. So our customers are B2B customers, so we don't sell our lenses to end consumers, but only to our partner opticians. But the product itself is a B2C product, because the end customer needs to understand and wear it in the end. So that's also a little bit of a challenge to have one product, but the marketing activities need to fit the different target groups. So it's exciting, but also challenging.
Do you sell the products in all the markets? Like, do you launch the products at the same time worldwide, or is it also phased, like in phases when you bring?
So that's depending on the market. So the market can decide when it makes the most sense for their market to launch the product. So we have like a global launch of campaigns, but in the end it's a market decision. So the markets can decide when they want to launch it.
Wow.
And also not every product is rolled out in every market yet. So so also that's a little bit of a challenge sometimes.
Wow. But it is, I mean, you've been doing this for 4 years now at Rodenstock, I think. So you have quite a lot of experience. How do you kind of balance keeping the brand consistency, but also leaving nuance for the marketers? Because there are so many differences between, you said, the Asian market, the German market, maybe which products are sold. So you want to leave the nuance and the decisions to the local market, but keep it on brand. What is the secret? How do you do that?
So I think for us, from a global marketing perspective, it's really a mix of guidelines, but at the same time leaving the markets still their freedom and really having trust in their expertise. So trust is also one of our core values at Rodenstock. So that's really a big part
we
of
share
our
that
DNA.
core value. Yes.
So I think that's really important. So one thing is about having like several approval processes which markets need to follow. So we really have a global look and feel, and to keep our brand consistent in the global communication. But at the same time, we are always in very close exchange with all of our markets. So we understand their local needs and see if we can somehow stay flexible to adapt it to the local needs. So that's really, I think, a little bit the secret, a mix between guidelines, but also flexibility and trust.
And do the markets then also share their knowledge among each other? Like, oh, we
Yeah.
had this and it went so well.
Yeah, so we do have like marketing manager calls where our markets are able to exchange best practices, and where also best practice examples are shared and then adapted in different markets. So yeah, that's a good thing at Rodenstock, that we are not, so we are big, but we are not big.
No.
So we really have this close exchange between all of our marketing managers, which really makes it special working here.
Yeah, cool, really cool. So, of course, you are a customer. So we have been working for 4 years, I think, since you started at Rodenstock. Before that, we also worked with Rodenstock. Why do you use Ambrosia, and where does it fit into your workflow?
I mean, there are so many different aspects of it. So, I mean, one aspect, of course, is that for us, you really offer a unique platform and a unique service, which fits exactly in what we are looking for. So since we are a B2B company, as mentioned, but we do have a B2C product, we were looking for a B2B platform where we can provide our content to the opticians so they can use it on their own social media channels. And that's exactly what Ambrosia offers. So that's really perfect for us, because it makes our work so much more efficient. It makes it easier. Also that you have this global aspect in it, that we can upload the content and then distribute it to our markets. It's really helpful because it saves us so much time and work. And also, for the optician, it's really user-friendly because they can simply download the app, share the content, and also what you shouldn't forget, of course, is also you and your team, which are always there for your customers. So you're always happy to help us, and you're also taking so much work off our desk. So we really also value the partnership and that you include us in your development. So for us, Ambrosia is really a great partner and the perfect solution for our social media communication.
Wow, you make me blush. Yes, we really also share, we care. It's one of your core values at Rodenstock, but it's also our core value. And I think that's also why we align so well. So we try to listen what you need and try to build what you need and other customers need. And and I'm happy to hear that the distribution part, and that you upload content and bring it to the local markets and then to the opticians, that it's helpful and intuitive. If we move to the opticians, how do the opticians interact normally with your content? How did it? I don't know if you even remember how it was before.
Actually, not, because we're already working so long together. So I think when I've started working at Rodenstock, we were already partnering with you. So I was learning about Ambrosia, and I was like, wow, that's so smart. That's such a good solution. So we never changed it. But
because normally I think you would go to like a Google Drive or something like that. And as an optician, you would have to download images there. Maybe if you prepare text, social media text, because most opticians don't know what to tell. Also because of the technical aspect, I think. So what you want to explain about your Big Exact, for example, or Big Norm lenses, or the DNI scanner, you want to kind of prompt the opticians a little bit, like this is what you could say about the product.
I mean, for the opticians, it's really easier, and I mean, it offers so many functions, because they can simply log in and they have their organic planning in there. They can really publish already the content right out of the app. So it really makes their life really simple, because they don't need to download it from a SharePoint and then manually publish it, but it can all be done with a simple connection from the app. From us as a brand perspective, it might be a little bit unusual, but also for us as a brand, it's really great that you also have other brands in Ambrosia, because we see ourselves more as a partner for the opticians and as a service provider. So we think what's so we don't always think what's best for Rodenstock, but we also think what's best for our partners, because if
Yes.
they grow, then we grow. So they need to be successful so we can become successful. And for our opticians, it's really important and valuable that they have not only Rodenstock content in there, but also different brands. So for example, also for frames, images which they can use. So yeah, for them it's more beneficial compared to a SharePoint where they only can download Rodenstock content then.
Yep.
So yeah, and also of course your support, for example, with paid media campaigns. So you offer also so much one-by-one support.
Yes.
So you really help the opticians becoming successful also with their paid media campaigns, and that's something which a SharePoint couldn't replace.
And would you have the time to do all of this yourself in-house? Like how much extra time would it take if you would, cut loose and browse and you would do everything yourself? Would it be possible, or what? Like, could you?
I think it wouldn't be possible because our team is too small for it. I can't really put a number on the question, so I can't really say we would spend that many more hours on it, because, and also it depends from market to market, because our market have different sizes in the marketing team, also a different number of customers which they need to support. So it's a little bit depending on the market size, but in the end, I would say it's a lot more work which we would have in-house if we wouldn't work with you and your team and your platform. Because also, so we would have so many more onboarding sessions, individual one-by-one support. We would need to download and share huge file sizes sometimes. The markets would need to download and then distribute it to the opticians one by one. So it would be so much more work. And Imposa really helps us in becoming more efficient, quicker, and getting out of this one-by-one support, but just being more efficient because we can share the content to everyone at the same time.
Yeah, exactly. And as more brands join Ambrosia, the value for the opticians is really growing.
Yeah.
So they're helped even more. So other brands, if you're watching, join.
Absolutely. Get in touch.
Yes. Well, and back to you. So you said you upload the content and then it's translated to all the markets. It is an automatic translation. It's not perfect, and then the markets can go in to nuance it or maybe turn off some products or decide I'm not launching or communicating this yet. Can you elaborate a little bit more on how important it is to make this local nuance? Do you have an example, for example?
Yeah, I mean, it's super important for us. I mean, as mentioned before, so not every market has every product yet, so they really need to be able to adapt the content, so to really also hide content which isn't available in the market yet, because it wouldn't make sense for the optician that they see content for products which they can't even buy from us in the market. So it's really important that our markets can adapt the content. Also, some markets, they create their own local content which they adapt or upload in addition to our global content. So also there they have local campaigns where they can then upload and provide the content to the optician. So also that's a really important one, that they can simply, so that we have like this global level, but also still the possibility for the local adaptations. And in the end, of course, for translations, we are a premium brand and the translations really need to be good, so also that they can adapt the local translations, but they already have, so the pre-work was already done for them. It's really helpful because they don't need to start from scratch, but they need to fine-tune it, but they still have the possibility to fine-tune it. So it's awesome. But
And I always love it. So when you put content in and it's going to Croatia, Slovenia, or wherever, and I see it, like your content in all these different like characters and languages, it is always special and magical. I don't know if it feels the same for you. But like in Greek, this is Rodenstock in Greek. Oh wow!
Because it's so many different markets and languages, and I'm always like, ooh. That's a lot.
It's surprising. It's always surprising. Cool.
Yeah, I still feel the same.
So if I look at Rodenstock, you are very like high-end, high-tech, innovative. Innovation is also, I think, one of your core values. So you're very forward-thinking. And from your perspective, like, what does the future of local marketing look like? If you could dream it, like, what does it look like for Rodenstock?
Yeah, I mean, what's of course currently in every marketeer's mind is of course the big topic of AI. So,
Yes.
I mean, Rodenstock is still in some points very much at the start of the journey, but we try to integrate AI wherever it's currently possible. So no matter if it's like an internal chatbot, which is available at Rodenstock, but also when we choose our partners and service providers and tools, we try to keep up to date and see where are already AI functions, for example, implemented. So we stay state of the art. So also that's also one benefit of Ambrosa, that you already push us and also try to see where are already AI functions which you can already provide. For example, the chatbot. So Emma.
Yes.
So
Yes,
yeah, it's
Emma
really
is one.
awesome. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's really awesome that you also don't stick to the status quo, but you always try to develop further. And that's also very important for us when we choose our platforms and partners. And yeah, in the end, in my personal opinion, the ophthalmic sector will face bigger future changes. They will become even more digital than at the moment. So we try our best to support our customers in going through that change. And yeah, setting the base with partners like you. And yeah, in the end, what we would like to achieve is that we create a seamless customer journey for our customers.
Yes.
Do we want to automate more in our marketing? And as mentioned, we are still very much at the start of our journey, but we try to push and keep evolving. So yeah, it
Yeah, but it is
becomes
a
more
focus in your
efficient.
company.
Yeah,
Yeah, it is really a focus. So, and I
yeah,
think what you focus on, you will grow in. So you have like a very like a dot on the horizon. We really want to automate things,
yeah,
include AI, be super smart, and maybe who is at the forefront of AI? I mean, it
yeah,
is way at the beginning, I think,
yeah.
and
I agree.
so it's learning and doing and trying to pick up quickly and support opticians and your markets and what can be done and what is allowed and what is not allowed. It's a super interesting time, I think,
Yeah,
and learn more about it. And you're always curious and wanting to learn and develop together with partners. So I think you'll do fine. Just open minded and have innovation as a yeah, your value, your core value, and you'll be fine. So. Do you think then that it's more important that HQ will give direction to the markets, like in the future, or will you give more freedom to the markets? Is there like, how is this balance in innovation?
yeah, that's actually a good question. So I think what we will also do in the future that is that we set the strategy so that we really try to push and the markets we will get them involved step by step. So some markets are already further, others aren't, but in the end we try to achieve one goal. And yeah, so it's a little bit a mix, of course, again, in the teamwork. So we try to give the guidance and but we develop it together with the markets. So it really adapts to their needs, because it doesn't make sense if we develop strategies and create new concepts and I don't know without involving the markets. So
Yeah.
it's always teamwork at Rodenstock.
Yes. Partnering and teamwork, right.
Yeah.
But also, that's what sets you apart. If you look at local marketing, like from competitors or other brands in the optical market.
Yeah, so I actually think what I mentioned before, so that we are not that big as a company, but we are still big, so we are global, but we really, really listen to our markets.
Yes.
And I think it's not at every brand like that, and because our markets have so much influence and potential to also give input to our strategy and how campaigns are developing. And yeah, I was also working at another brand before, which was also working on a global level, but I didn't experience it like I did it at Rodenstock. So of course, markets are always important, but at Rodenstock, they really are our focus because our markets need to be successful, so the brand is successful. So we really, really listen to them and try to adapt whenever possible. So I think that's really special about Rodenstock and our local marketing.
Yeah, well, that's what I experience also from, I mean, on the sidelines as a partner, but like how friendly the markets are, how well you know each other, how you help each other, how you forward each other, but also how much you trust us in between the markets. So yeah, I think that is very special. You should be proud of that. So and if you would have to explain Ambrosia, you have a technical product, so it's hard to explain. We do too. So sometimes if I have to explain my mother-in-law, for example, she asked me last week and again, what do I say when Ambrosia, like local marketing, local is enough, but like how would you explain it to another brand manager? What would you say?
So I would say if you are a B2B2C brand, basically, same as we are, then you should definitely get in touch with Ambrosia and get to know the platform, because there you can really provide content so your customers can use the content for their own social media channels. And so you really raise awareness basically for your own brand, because your customers can use your content and promote your products, and at the same time you can really support your customers. So that's, I think, how I would describe it. That it's really a B2B2C platform for social media without being its own platform like Instagram or Facebook. So it's not that you want to create followers there, but it's really about sharing content and also about supporting campaigns and supporting your customers and making life easier for your customers.
Being a partner, a marketing partner for your resellers. Yes.
Yeah.
I should tell my mother-in-law that next time.
Yeah.
Did I forget to ask you something that you would really like to share before we close off this interview?
I think just that I'm really happy to be working with you and your team. Also a big shout out to your team, because I'm always happy to work with them. They are always so quick in responding and always also very forward thinking also when they talk to our customers. And I get so much feedback from all the different sides. Thank you for the partnership, and I hope we will continue working together for so many more years.
I hope so too. Thank you so much for this interview, Steffi. It was very inspiring for brand managers and trade marketers working across so many countries. How do you balance nuance and also brand consistency? How do you distribute content? How do you activate resellers? We touched upon all of this. Thank you so much for your time and the collaboration. It's lovely working with you.
Thank you so much, Melanie.
Thank you. So see you next time at Ambrosia Talks again. And bye-bye.
Perfect. Thank you. See you soon.
See you soon.